And coming up, Apple is making another push into pay television.
Buy, sell, listen. The WBBM Noon Business Hour continues.
Apple is looking to sell customers a premium television bundle. It will combine several top movie networks. Let's get all of the details from Tim Hanlon, Managing Director at the Vertere Group here in Chicago. Tim, why don't you begin by telling us what this bundle will look like?
Hey there. I think you're really looking at something that is really indicative of the unbundling of television and almost to the point of being sort of a la carte, or where consumers can choose the things that they want to watch and only subscribe to those. I think Apple is realizing very quickly that creating just a very simplistic also ran or Me Too kind of bundle, which we're starting to see from people like YouTube and Hulu and Sony and some of these others that we've talked about over the many months, where Apple is basically saying, okay, let's see if we can get creative with, let's call them premium bundles of content, HBO and the like, that people can buy and add on or combine with any other channels that they choose to subscribe to without sort of having to buy entire bundles, much like a cable system does today.
Talk about some of the challenges. I'm thinking to traditional cable providers, because you do have consumers who want that a la carte choice, but it's just tougher then for them to make money.
Well, so that's the narrative that you're going to hear more and more from the traditional cable industry, which will be, where will you be able to find a better economic approach or an economic bundle than through the cable system you subscribe to today? You can't bundle things any cheaper than the way we can do it. I'm not sure that necessarily holds credence, though, as consumers get more intelligent about just how much certain channels go to their current cable subscription packages, right? So ESPN costs the average consumer upwards of $5 a month. And if you're not a sports fan, that's a challenge, right? HBO, and other premium services like Showtime, et cetera, have been able to be purchased separately for roughly $15 a month. Consumers have always known how much that channel independently would cost. The problem, of course, is that the only way that they could get until fairly recently those channels would be to have to pay for the cable subscription and then the $15. What if, as HBO has discovered, they could just buy HBO directly for $15 and bypass the whole cable subscription altogether? That's what's really the cool thing, I think, from consumers' perspective.
Is Apple a little late to the table here?
No, I'm not, Chris. I don't think so. I think Apple is experimenting with what packages or a la carte offerings or combinations that they could possibly offer that might make them more unique and first choice versus recreating what seems to be a litany of folks trying to create or recreate a digital version of a cable bundle, which is not very differentiated. So I think Apple is trying to align itself with more premium-oriented content. So it's a way to differentiate, I think.
Is there, and maybe this will be addressed by sort of a la carte and smaller bundles, is there a challenge for some things? I'm thinking last night's Cubs opener, if you didn't have cable, you had to go to someone's house in order to watch it. It wasn't that easily accessible.
Right, and that's one of the incumbent benefits of traditional cable operators, Comcast Sportsnet or ESPN, that you need to be subscribed to those channels to get access to those channels, both traditionally as well as through digital means. Look, the games that are on WGN TV or WLS Channel 7 later in the year, Cubs games, those are not going to be available through any kind of streaming device unless you have a cable subscription. So it gets a little daunting, but consumers know what they want, and they will dig deep to find more direct, if they can, access to that programming, those channels, and they will pay for that privilege, especially if they can avoid having to pay for stuff that they don't watch or don't want.
Tim, thanks for joining us today. Tim Hanlon, Managing Director at the Vertere Group in Chicago.